Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another Toonkind 12 FPS. The current voice you're hearing comes from Vegan Bear, Vegan of the Bears, that's me. And today I am going to be playing the ever fantastical, the sweetest assassin crew. Uh, don't worry about him, you're not going to see him much. And I am here with the ever wonderful and amazing.
Hi everybody. My name is Whis, and I am playing the little lad, junior detective Lil Rai Stagehand. He's going to solve some crime.
He's going to solve crime. I'm going to be committing the crime that
Yay!
is being solved. Uh, So today's FPS is called A Slice of Crime, and Lil Rai Stagehand. You have been given a bit of a small job, a thief job. Well, a thief. Can I words? You have been set upon the case of a theft. I'm not 100% sure on how many crimes Rai has solved before this, or what his experience is, but this felt like a pretty good job to give him.
Oh yeah, he can do petty theft.
He can take care of petty theft. And this little petty theft, apparently, actually comes. This request for a detective to solve a theft actually comes from a bank. Not just any bank, the Diagon Bank. A bank that has been passed along a very long line of Diagons, peacocks that are half diamond. Uh,
Mmm.
and so, yeah, just some petty theft at a bank.
Yeah, right.
And I imagine we open up with Rai entering through the front gates and do a perception check on what you see.
All right. Let's see how well we start this. Oh,
First roll of the game.
terribly, terribly. Right, come on.
Oh, Rai, come on.
You
What
were
do you
going.
get?
You're going to have to do better than this, otherwise you are never going to meet crew. What's your
Wait,
perception? At least it's a. It's still regrettably less than 10.
7. Ooh. With a 7, uh, you're kind of blinded by how bright it is on the inside. It is bedazzled. There's like a very shiny diamond on the floor. There are pillars that are reflecting light everywhere, golden pillars. And it's just like everything shiny. Oof, ouchie.
Oh, that makes perfect sense actually, because the lad doesn't do bright lights very well. He is shadow based, and he's just like, oh gosh, okay, wow,
You hear a bit of a gruff voice just kind of go, "Are you okay there, lad?"
I'm fine. I just kind of I can't see very well. I don't have any sunglasses. Maybe I should get some. Hi.
I'm gonna quickly roll a d10. Okay. There's a little foot and a tap tap as Ray feels a hand tapping their shoulder and his shoulder, and he gets handed some sunglasses. They're diamond shaped. Don't worry about that.
Ryle he'll take them and he'll feel them and he'll pop them on, and it does look a little silly because he does only have one eye. But fortunately that eye is sort of orientated on the side of his head, so it lines up with the lens rather than being in the middle, so that helps. But he's sort of gonna squint through these glasses and then look around a little bit. Okay, that is significantly better. Still really bright, but better. Thank you. I appreciate that greatly. And then he's going to try and look at the person who he is now interacting with.
Uh, Beside you, you see a poodle who is dressed as a security guard. Just like the rest of the bank, they are a bit bedazzled themselves. And they are a very bedazzled security guard that has a bit of a soft smile and a small little tail wag, but they are not changing their posture. They still have like their hands behind their back and they're standing up tall. Well, as tall as a toon poodle can, but
Ah, thank you. My name is Junior Detective Lil Rai Stagehand. I was called about a theft?
Oh, did Marcus call you? Marcus Diagon.
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, no, that is the guy who called you, Marcus Diagon, owner
Yeah.
of the bank. And they're just gonna nod and, all right. Feel free to wait here in the lobby. He should probably come fetch you soon. And as soon as they say that, there's a loud bang as the door opens. And it's just like, is the detective here? It's just, yeah, detective's here.
I'm gonna roll Raya deception. Okay, well that
What
was.
are you decepting?
He is going to try and hide the fact that he is startled. Not so startled that he throws off an acid arrow like he normally does when he's extremely startled,
Oh.
but just a little bit startled. He's like, "No, I am professional." Okay, what's your deception?
A lot
Whoa.
of the guests jump upon the sudden sound.
That's a 14. So he's just like,
Loud noise. Hello. It is nice to meet you. Thank you for contacting the Stagehand's Requiem Detective Agency. My name is Junior Detective Lil Rai Stagehand at your service.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Marcus Diagon comes trotting forward and kind of extends their right hand to be. No, I'm extending my left hand. Extends their left hand to shake. Rises, and the guy that is standing right in front of you is, of course, Marcus Diagon, the half peacock, half diamond bird. Well, more like 3/4 peacock and 1/4 diamond. And he's currently extending his diamond arm towards Little Rai. Actually, I think I might have an old picture of him, but go ahead.
Rai will sort of he'll do this little thing where because normally he'd shake with the right hand, but he's like, okay, we're shaking with left, that's fine. So there's just a little disconnect of and then shake the hand of this very very shiny client, and he's still sort of squinting through these sunglasses.
Pleasure is all mine, sir.
As you are shaking his left hand, you very much notice how extremely cold it is. But regardless, he's just kind of like rapidly shaking it. It's just like, yes, yes, yes. Come along, come along. I'm gonna fill you in on the details out of the lobby, out of earshot.
Yeah, of course. Lead the way.
And yeah, he just kind of leads the little detective behind the counter. And if you want to, you can do a little insight check on Marcus.
All right, we can do that.
Also, there's no super good picture of Marcus that I have, but I'll provide the best one I have.
Oh well, Rai, are you definitely?
Never mind, I don't like it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll draw a
Thankfully,
new one later.
with that first roll he did, the only way to go was up. Thankfully, so that's a 19 on that insight.
19. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, never mind, I just remembered. He generally, you notice that he's very nervous, and he's just apart from the very surface level anxiousness that he's going about in the way that he's constantly glancing around. You also do notice that he's a little bit confused on, wait, why is this detective so small? Why does this detective look a bit like a child? Well, that's normal. That's fine. This is Toonkind. I don't know what I was expecting. Little detective.
Well,
But-
how tall is this guy?
That's a very good question. I'm imagining him to be slightly taller than the average Toon. I'm gonna put him at about maybe like 5'6", 5'7".
Okay, well, Rai is definitely shorter than him, but Rai is standing at 3'9" at the moment.
Yeah, definitely smaller.
He's taller than his mum,
But
so
Marcus hasn't met his mom.
yeah.
Maybe? We'll see. But, and it's just like, okay. So you've probably heard about the fact that you're here for a theft. And, oh God.
It's all right.
Theft.
Just take your time and give me as many details as you can.
And I'm going to roll him his hammer space. Where's my d10?
That one.
Oh, okay.
Not a one. He pulls out a little one of those notebooks that's got the spiral bound at the top, and he flips it open, and he's got a little pen. He's ready to take notes.
Of course, of course. I'm gonna make a quick little. I'm gonna roll my d20 to see how comprehensive Marcus can be about describing the details. 19. Okay. So he kind of takes a deep breath in and is just like, okay. So this entire bank is sort of magically enchanted that at night, any sort of movement from any of the objects without permission will automatically send out an alarm and put this entire place into lockdown. Security stuff. And I had received a message, a magical message, that one of my items has been moved without permission and then not put back. And so the entire place went into lockdown. But then this morning when we came in to, catch and find this thief, we kind of discovered two things. First of all, the thief had undone the security, and they had opened the doors. But we haven't been able to find the thief yet.
That is a bit of a concern. That kind of security system sounds like a very high-level magical arrangement.
Of course, of course.
Cost you a lot of money, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's sold. It's been here for a good few generations.
Oh.
We probably might need to update it pretty soon, if the thief was able to undo it.
Yes, perhaps there might be a upgrade, yeah. Could you give me some information on the item that was stolen?
Well, the item that was stolen, I don't really know it's the name of this thing, but it was this little golden dog that I had won at an auction, and it was just so gorgeous I had to have it. But from what I do remember about the object, small golden dog, and it's got sapphire eyes and a ruby nose, and I believe that it points towards the nearest treasure, and it always pointed towards the hoard of gold that is kept here at the bank. But now it's gone. We can't find it anywhere.
Rai takes a moment to have some small amounts of flashback the last time he had a case that involved a dog statue.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he and a whole bunch of randoms may have been turned into dogs for a day or two. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I might have caught fan art of that. Sorry, Rai, this was purely coincidence.
That's fine. But yeah, he just sort of takes a moment and he's writing these things down.
Okay, so does it move like its limbs when it's pointing, or is it more like a compass?
It's sort of more like a compass, though it can rotate its head, and I have seen it lift its paw a few times.
Is it
That's
on a
the extent
base,
that
or
I've
does
seen
it
it
just
move.
stand on little leggies?
It does have a removable base.
Is the base also made out of gold?
Yes.
Does it have any maker's marks?
The what?
Maker's marks. So, like, the person who made it put, like, a signature on it.
Well, there was a signature at the bottom of the base, though at this point I can't read it, and I don't know who made it. I don't recognize the signature myself.
Could you sort of describe what it looks like?
Well, it looks like a scribble. I don't know what else a signature looks like.
No, of course.
It looks like a swirl. A very strange cursive swirl.
Okay. Sapphire eyes, ruby nose, moves its head a little. How much do you think it's worth if someone were to sell it on the black market, for example?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Hmm. I hadn't thought of the exact worth that it'd have, but well, I'd personally say lots.
Okay.
I know he bought the darn thing, but
Lots. Okay. Would you be able to show me the area of the bank where you kept it?
oh, of course. And he just kind of signals like, "Come this way, come this way." And he goes through the bank and kind of leads him to an area where there's a bunch of offices. And on the little counter, you see the golden base, and it has nothing atop it.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be a bit of a decoration.
Rai's making notes. Base not stolen.
Nope, only the dog,
Okay.
weirdly enough.
All right. Well, I will have a quick look around here first, and then I might ask you some more questions about the security after I do that, if that's all right.
Of course, of course. I'm willing to answer any question if it means that I get my little dog back.
All right.
Alright, and I'm going to roll an investigation to have a look around the room. And thankfully he has an item to give him advantage on this. Okay. Your investigation is that. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 to investigate the area.
Yep. Sort of around where this dog was.
I'm thinking. What kind of clues would be left behind? Give me 3 seconds.
No, you're right.
Dirty 20. Gee whiz. Okay, I am blanking hard on what a dirty 20 would give you. But I suppose with a dirty 20 that you do notice that there is a bit of lint somewhere around, like a small piece of thread.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna roll him another hammer space. That is not a 1. He's gonna reach into his pockets and he's gonna pull out like like one of those little evidence kits. So it's like a Ziploc bag, and then like a pair of tweezers. And he's just gonna pick it up and put it in the bag and zip it closed and then look at it. What color is it?
Well, it's a very rich color red. It's a very bright one, and it looks a little bit shiny.
Ooh, shiny. Okay. And he's gonna sort of tilt his head and go,
Sir, how often is the bank cleaned?
Oh, very often. It's
Has-
practically spotless.
Has it been cleaned, like, was it cleaned before the theft?
Yes, it has been cleaned before the theft happened.
Presumably
Though I
not
don't believe-
after.
Well, no, it hasn't been cleaned after the theft, but it has been cleaned before.
Okay. And how many people access this room on a regular basis?
He just kind of points to the entire office, the cubicles and desks. Pretty often. Though it's mainly the staff.
So no guests.
We don't allow guests in this area.
So it stands to reason that for the most part, the only people that would know it would be here would be members of your staff.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Now I want to ask you some questions about the security system now, sir. So you said that it's magic to go off if something moves that's not supposed to.
Of course, yes.
Is this like
That is how it works.
Is this the only security that you've got? Do you have people who stay here as like a night watch, or is it literally just oops something moved, close the doors and until tomorrow?
Well, this is a bit of a powerful security system, so I hadn't seen much use in hiring security. Though, seeing after this theft break-in, I'm definitely going to look forward into that until it does get updated. But otherwise, no, we've never actually had this problem before.
Okay. And so the person who is at the front, who gave me these to protect my eye from the radiance of your establishment. They're only here during business hours?
Yes, typically.
Are there any cameras or anything high tech like that in your bank, or is it all just magical based?
Uh, we do have a few, I don't actually know the proper term for them, but yes, there are technically like magical mirrors that serve as security cameras around here.
Okay. Will they still have in them what they reflected?
And he's just tilting his head to one side. It's like, is that the right term for a magic mirror security camera?
At the time of the theft?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. You'll have to talk to Mason about that. Their lead security here. They'll be able to show you whatever the magic mirror, the security mirrors have reflected, have caught.
Okay. All right. Is that the gentleman at the front?
No, no, that was Mary and Joseph. Mason is. Actually, I have no idea where Mason is. I'll go fetch him very quickly.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
I'll continue to have a little bit of a look around here, and wait for you to get back.
Of course. Just holler for me if you need anything.
Of course.
And Marcus is gonna trot right off, just like his peacock feathers are just kind of starting to flay out behind him as you hear him yelling down the hallway, Mason! Mason, where are you?
Ryan's just going to roll his eye a little bit. It's like, oh gosh, okay. And have another sort of poke around. I'm going to roll another investigation, and specifically he's going to try and see if, like, he can figure out just based on the stuff that's on the, like, the staff desks and stuff, if he can figure out, like, a roster, like, who would have been the last person to leave of an evening.
Of course, fair enough.
Yeah, that's not as good. But he's
Have a
got
look.
Oh, okay, I get a 9 or a 9. That's fine. You've got a +6. Okay, so that's a 15. That's still fine.
15 investigation to look around?
Yep.
You look around the small little office that you are currently in, and you can currently find 4 employees that are here. You spot a big plush owl that looks half asleep at the desk. You spot an elf who is busy drinking some water. You can also spot a small little gnome that is having a lot of trouble looking over the keyboard and looking at the screen at the very same time. And you spot I need to come up with one more. And you spot a little rubber hose tune who is happily clicking away to some sort of tune. It sounds very melodical.
Cool. All right. Ryan will just sort of look around, take stock, and go,
Excuse me, could I ask some questions of you four, please?
The elf, the gnome, and the rubber hose kind of perk up, but the owl seems to have kind of ignored you. Still very much looking like he's dozing off.
That's all right. Ryan will single him out later.
My name is Junior Detective Lil Rai Stagehand, and I'm here investigating the theft of the golden dog statue. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions about the state of the bank when you left yesterday, if you were here?
Yeah, of course. The gnome just kind of perks up and nods. The elf also nods along, and the rubber hose looks way too ecstatic to be questioned.
Oh, like that guy from Phoenix Wright who's like, I could write an affidavit. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so, could you please tell me who the last person on site would have been last night?
The elf kind of shrugs. They wouldn't have any sort of idea. But the gnome and the rubber hose both point to the owl.
Okay, and, I'll prod them later when I wake them up, but, what's their role?
Whose role?
The owl.
That's a really good question. Give me 3 seconds.
You're right, I'm asking you all the hard questions.
You are. I completely forgot to look up what jobs are at Bing. But feel free to look, ask other questions while I'm looking this up.
Ryan's also going to follow up with it.
And, what? Well, I mean, if you left, before them, you probably wouldn't know, but is them leaving late a regular occurrence?
What's a regular occurrence?
The owl leaving work last.
Well, typically, yes. He tends to be the very last one to leave, from what I know. And the elf just kind of shrugs, I guess.
Is that part of his job, or?
Nobody really here knows. They don't actually know why he stays here so late. Though, the gnome does kind of perk up and just kind of looks back at the owl and is just like, I think he leaves late because once he's done working, he takes a nap. But that's my theory.
Okay. Well, he does look like the kind of person who takes naps. Okay. Who was the first person here in the morning?
Within this office, they point to the rubber hose.
Are you the first person here just in this office, or in the entire building?
The rubber hose points to the ground in this office.
They're a silent tune, are they?
Yes, they are.
Rye's gonna take a look at that, and then he's gonna sign as well as talk, and he's just gonna say,
If you need to sign, I do, no, tune sign, so that's fine. Okay, who is here before you?
The tune to hearing that you know tune sign starts very sporadically signing very quickly, and you just kind of catch this. You catch a few details, but you mostly catch the fact that security tends to be here first, and then a few of the other people who mostly work with the clients. So bank tellers, bankers, people like that.
Okay. All right. And, could you tell me who discovered the theft?
They look at each other and it's just like, Marcus,
Right, okay.
he came in here crying about it. He came in here crying before any of us had actually noticed the fact that the dog was missing.
Okay. And he's like tapping his pen against his chin. Okay. Is there anything else that's important that you might be able to tell me that might have seemed off yesterday or anything like that?
They kind of look at each other and sort of shake their head. No, they personally can't really think of anything that's off.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation.
They do nod, and they sort of start to slowly return to their work. The rubber hose looks a little bit disappointed, but instantly regains their energy and optimism as they hear the click clack of their keyboard again, and goes back to playing a small little melody.
Ryan is now going to go over to the owl and just with the end of his pen just go poke into the shoulder.
Ooh, ooh, oh, 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 hello there. Oh, hello there, little boy. And he just kind of like adjusts his very thick glasses and just kind of pats the boy. Ooh, are you allowed back here? Ooh, who
I,
let you in?
sir, I will have you know I am 18 years of age. My name is Junior Detective Lil Rai Stagehand, and I am here investigating the theft of the gold dog statue that's in your office.
Oh, 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 sorry. And he just kind of stands up, glances over, and is just like, oh, it really is missing. Oh. Well, all right. What questions may I answer?
What time did you leave last night?
Ooh. I believe I left at about, I left at about 7:42 in the evening.
Yeah, that's a lot earlier than I thought. Okay. And when you leave as the last person, do you have to lock any doors or activate the security system or anything like that?
No, you do actually have a pretty good point. That is a bit early. I was thinking relative to myself. You know what? We can go for a very toonish, stupid ass answer on how late this owl has left. He has left at 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Very,
All
very
right.
sad.
Yeah.
He has left at 10 p.m.
Yep.
And he was just kind of like, well, no, not typically, but uh, I must have, I must have dozed off a bit, and yeah, I believe I did have to set up this, help set up the security.
So, when you leave of an evening, you're not usually the last one here?
No, no. Marcus and the security tend to be the very last ones.
And what time they normally leave, do you think?
Oh, I I tend to stay. Well, I should be staying here till 6, but I find myself leaving at about 7 or 8.
Okay, so the security guards would leave somewhere between 8 and 10. Did they leave you instructions on the security? Have you done that before?
I think one of the security guards walked me through the process, but they mostly just showed me how to turn on the security. I didn't do much myself. Wait, shoot. Drop my dice.
Okay. Could you explain it? How you turn the security system on? Is it complicated?
Hmm. And I'm gonna roll a d20. Oh. And as he thinks, he's just kind of like, oh, I don't think so. Oh, it was incredibly late at night, and I had a very long nap, so I don't think I've retained much information. I'm very sorry.
No, that's all right. Okay. Um, and what time did you get here this morning?
Well, this morning, I had arrived at my personal best of, uh, 10 in the morning.
I love this owl.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. If I have any other questions, I will come back to you, but that will do for the moment. Thank you very much.
Ooh, all right, thank you. And Little Rai, I want you to make a perception check.
Alrighty. Ah, dear. It's still very bright. But that's not
Very
as bad
bright.
not as bad as before. That's at least average.
Um, yeah, no. Unfortunately, though, yes, very thankfully, this place isn't as bedazzled as the lobby where a lot of the guests and a lot of the customers are coming in. It still carries through the very, very strong theme of diamonds, jewels, and riches, as uh, there is still a lot of golden decorations, and it is still very bright around here. So you don't really catch how the other employees are reacting to the conversation that you just had. But before you can really see them, you hear yet another bang and, oh, detective! Detective!
Ray's going to turn and he's just sort of squinting.
Well,
Yes,
you see
I'm
the
here, sir.
you see the very tall peacock, and the peacock notices you, and he's just like, "Oh, detective, detective! Oh, I found the lead security, Mason." And you take a moment, you look around, and you don't spot Mason at first until you hear a, "Hey, down here." You look down, and you see a little teacup pig dressed in a security suit.
Hello, sir. It's nice to meet you. My name is Junior Detective Lil Rai Stagehand.
Right. I, for the lack of a better fucking name, am Mr. Bacon. And he just kind of shakes Little Rye's hand.
Mason Bacon!
I would like to let you know that I'm making up a lot of this on the spot, so.
That's fine. Oh. Oh dear, that's entirely fine.
Thank you for, well, I'm sure you're taking time out of your very busy day. I have some questions about the security system, sir.
Of course.
How is it turned on?
Magically. Hmm. That is a very good question. How is it turned on? Well, within the security room, there are some runes that are engraved into the ground. Well, into the wall, I should say. And upon being touched, they can be activated. Though, once again, there are certain people that are attuned to the runes, so not anybody can turn them on and turn them off. Here, I'll show you myself. Come on. And
Yes,
he
please.
just kind of motions for the little detective to follow him. Marcus is gonna follow behind too, just because he's very anxious and wants to see how the detective does his job. But you are led to a room that, in very, very stark contrast to the rest of the very typically bright and shiny rooms of the bank, is incredibly fucking dark. And
Oh, great.
the only light that you are going to be seeing is from the um, prying mirrors that are around set up like monitors. And you see another uh, security guard in there just kind of looking over the mirrors and everything. And Mason goes up on these little gets up on this little stool so he can actually properly reach the runes and just kind of points them out. See this rune right here?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. When I touch it, or when any of the other attuned security guards touch it, they can activate it. That's typically how we turn the security on.
And what happens if someone who is not attuned to the security system touches the runes? Does it just not work, or...
Go on ahead. He just kind of invites Rai to try it.
Okay.
Rai's gonna trot on over and just boop.
Well, just as you predicted, nothing happens. Nothing gets activated, nothing
Okay.
happens.
So who is attuned to these? Is it just security staff? And assumedly yourself, sir?
He's looking at Marcus.
Marcus very much nods along, like, yes, yes, yes. All the security staff, including myself, are very much attuned to it.
Any of the other staff, sir?
Nope.
Okay. What time did you get your alert about the theft?
Why, I was raised at 11 at night. I
Is
believe
that
it was
like
about
in real time?
11:40.
Is it real time or is there a delay?
Well, I get it most instantly. As soon as it happens, I get an alert.
Okay. Mr. Bacon, do you know
Yes.
who the last person on site was last night? And who activated the security system?
Last night, I had activated the security system, and I had made sure that I was the last one to leave, because one of our employees here had slept in.
So that means that you were on site at about 10 p.m. last night?
That is right.
Okay.
Marcus had left before me.
Okay. And does the security system require the same attunement high five in order to turn it off, typically?
Mm-hmm. Prevents any thieves from turning it off. But I would like to point something out. And I should have brought this up sooner. But Mr. Bacon is going to mention about the fact that while yes, Rai is not going to be able to turn it off, currently none of the other security guards are going to be able to turn it on either because the runes are ruined. And he points out a scratched rune.
Oh, okay. So
Without this rune being activated, none of the security is going to work. But this is very much an oddity for us because this surface, and he just kind of gives it a tap, is very, very difficult to scratch. And for it to be ruined as it is would require a great amount of force.
Okay, security was deactivated by destroying the rune. Okay. When the building goes into lockdown, what does that sort of involve? Is it just the front, like the exterior doors? Do any of the internal doors stop? Or how does that sort of manifest?
Well, the way that the security system here works is for the fact that, yes, all of the exterior doors open, and they also gain a lot of resistance. They become resistant to piercing, bludgeoning, any sort of other things that could very easily smash them. As you may have noticed, a lot of things here are made of glass, so that way it's nice and bright around here. But that can also pose incredible security. Uh, well, a lot of security
Challenges?
problems and issues. Challenges, yes, thank you. And so once security gets activated, they become a lot tougher.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think I have all the information that I need now. Do you mind if I go and have a little bit of a wander around the perimeter, sir?
If you're asking Marcus, Marcus does nod, like, yes, yes, yes. Go ahead, ask any questions, ask anybody you need. And Bacon is going to just kind of raise his head a bit and it's just like, may I add another detail?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I had been told that the room here to the security had already been unlocked when the first security guard had entered.
Okay, so we're looking at some sort of very powerful rogue. Okie dokie. All right, I will go have one more look around and I'll let you know what I can find.
Mr. Bacon nods and Marcus kind of steps aside so the detective can make his way out of the room. But do be aware of the fact that Marcus will be tailing you around unless he's called off to take care of a customer or if he's going to be dragged away to do his job.
Right, okay. Oh gosh. Okay. I don't think Rai is going to be solving this crime today somehow just because it's been about 45 minutes. Oh dear. And I haven't even
Oh boy.
and I've got a game in like 10 minutes. So we might have to do a part 2.
Two-parter.
Part 2 FPS. This is great. All right. So okay, I have taken lots of notes. I am going to roll Rai another investigation as he's looking around at, like, he's going to look at the door to the security room and he's going to look around at the exterior doors of the building, see if he can figure out which door would have been the one force of entry, kind of. See any signs of force of entry is what I'm kind of getting at.
So what do you mean by force of entry?
So
I
like,
mean, for which door? No. Okay, I understand that part.
We'll do the security room first. So it would have been either lockpicked or lockpicked or brute forced. So that makes that a 16.
With a 16, I'm assuming you're investigating the door.
Yep.
With a 16 on investigation, I'm not 100% sure if lockpicking really leaves behind any marks, but I would assume that he does spot a few scratches around the keyhole, where maybe it was caused by somebody being very messy with the key and trying to shove it in when it wasn't going in, or maybe it was a very frantic thief who was trying to very hard to quickly unpick the door.
Okay.
It's definitely leaning towards the thief route.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and now Rai's going to have a look at the exterior doors of the building to see if he can figure out, like, if the security system turned off. I assume that means that everything would be unlocked.
Also, I would like to remind you that you did come to this room to see the video.
Oh, thank
tape.
you. Yes, then I did forget all about that. Yes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
while
he'll
you're
have a
still
look at
here
that.
in the security room.
Thank you. Yeah. So he'll have a look at that, and then he'll just sort of look over at the mirrors and be like,
Do these things retain footage for a while?
Yes, of course, of course.
Do you have any
And-
footage from around about the time of the theft?
Yes, we actually do, but there is a bit of an issue. Hey, Big, you wanna rewind the tape, show the detective what you found? And the supposed Big just kind of gives a nod and puts a finger up to one of the monitors and starts sliding it, and it kind of rewinds back. It's one of the mirrors that's connected to the office, and it gets rewinded, turns super dark, and it has some dark vision, so everything's in like grayscale. But
Nice.
they kind of point out the little light gray dots and just goes, "That's the dog." And they let it play, and what Rai sees is that the dog starts floating. And then all of a sudden, the dog jumps, gets tucked under something, but, well, you assume it gets tucked under something. You can still very much see the dog. But he notices that there's a bit of a frantic motion as the dog goes back and forth, and the table gets bumped, and afterwards, there's not much else.
I'm just picturing crew panicking. It's like, oh shit. Okay.
Yes, but you do not see the thief.
Okay, so invisibility or maybe
We're assuming so, yes.
either that or something like unseen servant, maybe. But they're usually a little bit more elegant than that.
Good point.
So at which point does the dog disappear from view?
The particular office you have gone into? Okay, so the way that I'm imagining it is that it has two doors, but they are very close to each other, and they are in the about the same corner. So, regardless, the dog moves to the right of the camera, but you will not be able to tell which door it took.
Okay.
Do those two doors lead to different corridors?
They do. One of the doors leads out to the main lobby. The other one leads to, well, more offices.
Okay. Can we have a look at the any security in the direction of more offices first, please?
Of course. They kind of catch the current mirror up to speed so that it's reflecting the currently what it's seeing, and Big kind of reaches out to the other mirror, drags it back to when it's dark, and it doesn't really reflect anything.
Okay. They knew well enough to not go that way. Can we have a look at the same time from the lobby camera, please?
Of course. Big reaches out again, rewinds the camera that leads to the lobby, and Big is going to kind of turn back and say, "Well, we don't really see anything from the lobby at the time that the dog started moving, but we do notice that an hour later," and he just kind of rewinds it a bit forward, and in fact, you notice the very big plush owl kind of moving in the dark and just kind of looking at the windows, just kind of giving them a bit of a tap.
Okay. That's not suspicious at all. I think I need to talk to that fellow again.
Well, I will say something. I find it's Mr. Bacon. I am finding it very, very odd about the fact that we are seeing him here in the lobby because actually, while he did stay here very, very late, I had personally seen him out. He was by me when we closed this place down properly.
Okay. From my conversation with him earlier, that was at about 10 o'clock.
That is correct.
This is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt because of how you have to scroll through the footage here, but is this the first time that this owl person appears on camera after you'd escorted him out? Or can you see him anywhere else?
They kind of look back at it in big reaches up, goes to the mirror that shows the other offices and kind of scrubs a bit more forward, and they point out a still image where you can see the owl who had just come from the lobby. But they don't really point out anything before. I'm going to say that, for the sake of simplicity, that there is a timestamp in the corner that glows. So you can very much tell if this is before or after.
Okay. So we're looking at some sort of disguise, perhaps. All right. How long has that person been working here?
He's been working here for years! And it's Marcus who pipes up.
Has he started acting strange at all?
Marcus just kind of shakes his head. Oh no, he's been acting like that ever since my father owned this bank. Well, not the breaking it here at midnight, but that's definitely new. I guess that is some strange behavior, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very strange. Okay, I may have to go and talk to him again. Yeah, okay. Let me get back to you on that one, sir. And I'll see what I can figure out.
Bacon and Big kind of give you a nod.
Do you have upon your person, Mr. Rai? Locate
By the way,
object.
Marcus, please call in one of the repairmen to fix this rune. And Marcus just kind of like nods and hurries out the room. So I guess right now you are free from Marcus.
Yeah. Okay. Specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet. That's not going to be particularly helpful because he's not seen it up close in 30 feet. Nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. Raya will ask, hey, are there other sort of dog statues in the building, or was it the only dog?
Mason will think, and he's just like, I assume that is the only dog statue around here, though you may have to check Marcus's personal office.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a red hot go and see if it works. It might be vague enough. All right, let's try.
And he's going to cast Locate Object. Because he's not seen it up close, he can't get this specific thing, but he is going to locate the nearest object of a particular kind, being gold dog statue. And at least get see if it's within, within range? Within 1,000 feet. So if it's still within the building is what he's trying to figure out.
Ooh.
Are there any gold dog statues in the building?
Are there any gold dog statues? I'm gonna say that he receives quite a few pings. That you are. How many. Is this only for one specific, or can you get, like, multiple? And actually, I'm gonna look this up.
The spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, so it'll just ping whichever one is literally the closest.
Ooh. Okay, give me a moment to think.
And if there is any behind any thickness of lead, he can't notice that one. So, like, if it's in a lead
So,
safe, he can't notice that one.
Okay, so lead is the only thing that stops it.
Yeah.
How specific is it? Does it tell you where exactly it's located?
Probably not with map precision, but he'll at least, very least, get a that way and be able to, like, hone in on it, I assume.
So you know where this object is located for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Correct.
I kind of picture it like the map markers in, like, Skyrim.
Understandable. I'm thinking on how would this work. I'm sorry, I was not anticipating locate object to actually be used, so... Yeah, you do feel it. There is a certain... You do feel that there is a dog. And surprisingly enough, it is very much nearby.
Alright. I think Rai's gonna just hone in on that particular thing first, just to rule it out. And then we might have to have to continue this at a later date.
No, understandable, but... Maybe this would be a bit of a good point to end on, with Rai feeling the ping and just like, oh, the golden dog statue isn't that far away, actually.
Alright.
It's surprisingly very close. But until next time, we will learn about the location of the dog. Join us for part 2 of A Slice of Crime.
Oh man, I can't wait. This has been fun.
Alright.
See everyone in part 2. Bye.
See y'all in part 2. Goodbye.